Hey y'all, it's Valerie here at Pisces Mountain Farm, and today I am going to be putting in my hot peppers. I'm setting up here in my top field with my trampoline frame that I converted, and in the middle of this bed I put some leaves down and some soil, and I'm just going to use my auger and plant right in the middle of it. Let me show you what I've got. I'm going to be putting the peppers in this bed, and since we're having an unseasonably cool day today, it's only like 65 degrees, I thought it would be the perfect day to go ahead and get this in. I do have a few other plants that are random that I'll be putting up here as well, but it's mostly hot peppers. I'm going to be taking my auger, just auging a hole, and planting right in the middle of that, and then I'll go back later and either use the weed eater to get the weeds out, or I will flame weed them. Oh yeah, while we're up here, just wanted to show you. I have my little beans coming up. These skunk beans aren't coming up. So either they're late to the party, or they were eaten, or they were bad seeds. But it looks like I got germination on all the other ones. So I might try to replant those skunk beans if I don't see any progress. Alright, here's the kind of after shot. Not really much to see yet. Let's step back and see if I can get more of the ring. I'm hoping by the end of summer that I have some shots to compare to these that are just completely different and overgrown. Hey y'all, it's Valerie here, and I kind of just woke up and went to check on my little seedlings, the very few that I still have left under lights, just because they're convenient to keep an eye on there. And also because they're in soil blocks. It's like melons and cucumbers, that kind of thing. I have some of those, and I decided to take the ones that are the right size and plant them out today, because I'm getting ready to leave town next week, so I want to get a few things done before I leave town. I'm going to a music festival. So we'll have a video probably coming up about that whole process, a few things that are going on with that, because that's a part of my life that I like to share here as well, not just the whole gardening and farming thing. I decided to put a few melons and pumpkins and cucumbers and that kind of thing down here on the remaining tomato trellising. But I have this teepee on the corner of my pepper bed, and I'm going to put one of my small melons there. So I guess I'm going to get started on that, and then I will just kind of show you, well actually let me show you the tomato trellising, and then I'll kind of show you where I'm going to put the other vegetables and stuff. Okay, when you first come down my hill, and yes, it needs mowed, you look to the right, and we have my peppers, this teepee I'm going to put a melon on. And then here is my tomato trellising. This is where my onions are. That overgrown bed has peas that are struggling because it's overgrown. And there's a few little things, like there's some celery in this one. And there's a few little things in there, but it also needs weeded again. There's some, ooh, I'm getting a flower. These are some oriental poppies that I grew, and this is, or not oriental, Iceland poppies that I grew. And since I have lived here in this part of West Virginia, this is the first time I've been successful growing a poppy. And I did not direct sow them like that is suggested. I seeded these, I mass seeded these in a little pie pan, and then I plucked them out, and once they got big enough, I plucked them out and planted them in here. So that's exciting. Alright, this is my tomato trellising. And I have all my tomatoes planted out. I still do need to mulch everything. We're going to have to weed eat, obviously. Let me go check on this little one down here. I put it in the ground and it was quite small. Ooh, it looks like it's alive and making it. That's a Thornburg's terracotta that I got from a seed trade. And I wasn't sure if it would make it because it was teeny tiny when I put it out here. Like, it's only got its first set of true leaves. But I put it out here on days whenever it was raining, so it looks pretty good. But if you go down this final row here, as you can see, there's tomatoes here. Just want to, it's kind of hard to see amongst the green. But we do have tomatoes in there. I just did get them in 2 days ago. Like the last of them. But I'm just walking through here. My tomatoes on this row here, they end right here. There's nothing planted here. And my tomatoes on this row end up here. And I didn't go past that because we do get a really shady spot there. And it does get some for part of the day, but I'm not sure how much of the day. My puppies are in the background. So, let's see. That's Blue, and Baker's the bigger one. And I don't see Onyx. But anyways, my tomatoes on this one, like I was saying, there's shade here. I'm not sure how much sun it gets. When it gets sun, it's full, hard, 100% sun, but I'm not sure how much of the day that lasts, so I didn't plant anything in that area for that very reason. It basically gives me from this post here to, not this post, but maybe that one right there, so 1, 2, that second one back there, it gives me that amount of space that I'm going to do some cucumbers, some small melons, and pumpkins. I bought this auger last year. Hold on. I bought this auger last year. And you probably saw me using it if you've watched any of my videos where I'm replanting my bulbs. But it has been a game changer. And I have been using it to plant my tomatoes. I've been using it to plant everything where there's a bed that's made well enough that I can use it. Because some of our ground's too rocky. And it doesn't work as well. So I'll just I'm going to go ahead and put a melon on this teepee. So I'm just going to show you how this works real quick. Alright, I've got a nice size hole there that I can put this plug in now. And I just wanted to say, when you're using it, you've got to put pressure, but don't put so much pressure because sometimes it'll catch and it'll kick and spin, and people have broken their wrists and their arms that way. So I always hold it in such a way that if it starts to grab, I just let off the trigger and it spins so it doesn't take my arm with it. I hope that makes sense. I just wanted to put that in there real quick. Alright, that's 6 holes. They're several feet apart, and I have 6 things to plant. I'm planting them in no particular order. I don't remember all the types. I know I've got a alpha bait, is that how you say it, cucumber, a silver slicer, a honey nut squash, a Kajari melon, a Minnesota midget melon, a melon that's Ukrainian that I cannot pronounce the name of. I got it off of Nikitovka seeds. They're not up and running right now. Their page is down for the moment. But that's where I got those seeds from, and I will put a picture of it up here with the name on it. I'm not sure how they grow. I've never grown it before. All my vining plants I planted yesterday were under my lights, and I brought them on my porch to harden off. Well, I went back outside maybe 20 minutes later, and I saw them sitting there in their soil blocks, and I thought to myself, well, those are big enough to go out. Why don't I just plant them? And so I went bounding off and put them in the garden, and then I realized, duh, they were sitting out on the porch to be hardened off. So I'm not sure how they did. It did start raining yesterday evening, and it rained all night. It's close to noon, I would say, and it just stopped raining, and the sun just came out. So we're going to go check on those and see if I messed up or if they're actually still alive. The rain that we had last night may have saved them, or their leaves may have got fried before that rain came because it was sunny and strong on them for a while. All right, I'm going to walk down here. The first one I've planted. Honestly, it looks like the edges of these leaves might take some damage, but they look pretty okay. Just want to show you this. I trimmed my onions back, and they've already grown as if I'd never trimmed them. So my next step is going to be to come out here and spoon them. That one looks pretty good. Shadow, that one looks pretty good. And there's that one. It looks a little wilty, but I think it'll be okay. So it looks like the rain may have saved me from my hardening off mistake. Everything was perking up. We're going to have to see what this bright sun does to them today. There's a chance those tender leaves could still be fried because they weren't hardened off correctly. But I'll keep an eye on them over the next few days. There's still time to replant. Hopefully I don't have to. I have this broccoli here, and it's grown huge. It's probably a good 4 feet tall. And as you can see, it's completely in flower. It's a sprouting broccoli, so that's why you see all kinds of little shoots. It's gotten very hot here in the last, 2 weeks. So of course this went to flower, and I was just leaving it, letting the pollinators enjoy it. But as I said earlier, we had a rain for a good, I'm wanting to say 12, 16 hours maybe. And in the process, the rain knocked this broccoli over. And so I decided, instead of just ripping it out of there, I'm going to cut it back to its base and let it grow again. And if it comes up in the summer and goes straight to flower, I'll let it flower for a while and maybe cut it back again and see if I can get a fall harvest out of it, because last year I had some of this growing in a different spot and it was eaten up by bugs. But I just left it, I left it to attract the bugs. Let them have a little feast and keep them off my other plants maybe. Well, anyways, in the process of leaving this broccoli there, of course they ate it down to almost nothing. But then, I'd say somewhere about midsummer, this broccoli started putting off really healthy new growth, and the bugs by this point that were interested in it weren't quite as savage to it. So we were able to get some heads off of that they're not heads, they're little sprouts. We were able to get broccoli off that plant. So I think I'm just going to cut this down at the stalk and see if we are able to do that again. And if not, it's got very, very pretty flowers. So either way, I will enjoy it. I just wanted to show you this big thing. Leaned over in the bed before I cut it down. I'm just going to cut it back and see what happens. Technical difficulties. I thought I had my clippers out here, so now I must go find them. They weren't as far gone as I thought. They were just laying over there, literally. that opened up a lot of room. Now you can actually see some of my other plants. All right, I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.